This is the Dyson CR01 that I bought recently. It's got a seized drum, so the drum won't turn at all. I think what I need to do is get the front off first. Let's start here, push this, that opens that. Push this, that lets you pull it out. Set that aside. There's 2 screws on the back. One there. A lot of the screws on the back of this and around it have Torx heads, but these ones for some reason have Phillips crosshead screws. So that's it, top slides back, lifts off. Presume that's where it came from. That should be stuck in there somewhere. So I need to keep an eye on that. Sort it out before I put it back. It's just noise cancelling stuff, not cancelling. There's some service codes on there. Let's see what they say. So in here, there's some service codes. Let's give it a wipe. It's now 2020, so 2616 F 2005 V131, something on the 11th. Don't know. Don't know what those things mean. That's the way clock repairers used to do it. They'd leave a little note inside the clocks that they were working on. Just trying to give this a bit of a clean as I go because it's pretty grim. It's been in somewhere that was quite greasy. So we've got 2 screws there holding this panel on. I think it comes off and then just, so I've got 2 Torx screws up here on this control panel. I think then it just comes off and you unclick some cables. That's probably not meant to come off, but well, it has now. Okay. It's all so gross and sticky. So down here I've got this serial cable. I'll just clip it out there. That might let me get it out. It's hooked into something, is it? Yeah, it is hooked into something. Just roll that over, that will let that piece out. Then there's this little hose here, take that off. And we've got 2 cables here, power in and power out, I'm guessing. Top left and top right. Bottom left, bottom right. That's that. A couple of more screws. Right, that's it. Pull it like hell. And then we'll get this one over here off if we can, I think. Okay, it's that door off. I think it still needs to come off. I think that's holding the plastic on. Door interlock switch. Don't know about that. I don't know about anything else around. Okay. How then does it come off? Let's have a go. There we go. That screw wasn't out properly. So it's up. And then Grab that screw. Disconnect this door cable here. Where is it? That's the front off. Just in case you want to see, it's pretty gross. It's pretty gross in there. It's pretty gross. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. These are the screws we would need to take off all the way around. Torque screws. This plastic has some beautiful sticky crap on it. I think we should be able to get that off now, as it is. They're not too bad at all. So I've all the screws off all the way around. 2 bolts that held on the shock absorbers, got them off as well. Taken off this little cover that was in the bottom underneath. Covers the element, pulled off all those cables, unclipped another cable that ran up to the door interlock or something, or maybe the second door interlock, I don't know, it's just dangling down there. It should be ready to go. I've already separated it, so I just need to try and get it out now. You have to remember there's an element in here, I think, so... Yeah, there it is. Okay. There we go, that's quite heavy because it's got the glass door. Oh! It smells. It's got some stuff stuck there. So looking in all around, we can just about see it's clear. You're gonna need a torch or something. I think if anything does get stuck, it'll get stuck at the bottom. So yeah, there's something. That looks like someone's American Express prepaid gift card. Wonder is there any money left on that? Don't know what numbers I need. That's cool. Trying to look in that crack and I can't see anything. That would explain it straight away. It also doesn't seem to have dropped. Now, what I heard was that you could use a big Allen key to have a look around. Let's have a look in there. There's one motor in there, and there's another motor in there. 2 motors. 2 motors. This is quite a fancy piece of stuff, isn't it? Okay. So I've seen another video on YouTube that if you use one of these mixing things, this shaft being hexagonal is enough to get in the gap and twist and kind of release the drum. So I don't know if that's true or not. But no is the answer. Very strange. Alright, so clue number 1, right? The tub is split, or the drum is split in the front. But in the back, if you look in there, it's just a continuous piece. So there's like an outside shell that I presume is... Oh, it's got some kind of a weird pressed lip on there as well. Just in there. I really would like to take this apart and see how it works. I'm going to have to take it apart anyways because it's not working. I'm going to take the back off next and have a look in there. It's going to be a long job. Oh dear. So I'm taking the back off this and it just came off with a load of screws. It's just a piece of metal. And then the belt fell off, and there is a belt. And there it is. Dyson belt. Part number. And it's got 2 motors. That one feels okay. That one feels okay too. And it's got this thing here that is stuck. Now, that's a big piece of pressed steel, and I presume I'll take that hose off as well, maybe. Pulley, I don't know what that means.
two motors, two big motors. So I thought a motor would do each of the rotations, but it doesn't look like it. And here's a, okay, so there's a little motor up here. And there's a thing there. So this looks like it just brings this back and forth, and there's a limit switch there. So quite an interesting arrangement in here. There's the, that's the pulley on the back. Sounds stuck. There's the one motor, there's the other motor, and then up here there's a third motor. It drives a pinion, which drives the rack. And I think that's the bit that gives you the contrarotation, so it just goes back and forth separate. But I think I'll just take off this torque screw and see if I can get in there then. It's just going to be a matter of taking it off bit by bit and see what comes out. So I took off the steel pulley, then I took off all these little tabs and this motor on the bottom. I'm trying to get this wheel here off. I don't want to damage it. I'm wondering if it just needs to be forced off. It's got like a really fancy clutch, but meanwhile, look at these things here. They've snapped off, and that's rough metal. Two of them have snapped off. And I suspect those little bits of metal have gone somewhere. So that's probably, so that one there's got a crack in it. So has this one. The other two seem okay. And there's more teeth in there. There's like a planetary gearbox because the inside of this pulley has a gear. So, oh, there's one of them. Encapsulated in grease. Okay. That's a start. It's one of the little pieces that's broken off. If I pull this, it just comes off on springs because there's a really fancy clutch thing, and this rides left and right, and then this seems to engage in various ways. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'll keep going. There's a piece of something just down there. There's the gearbox. Planetary gears. It just pulled off this spline shaft. It wasn't very difficult. And then the next thing, there's a locking ring here. And it's got teeth here as well. And there's a circlip on the inside. So I'm wondering now which bit needs to come off. I suspect that this bit here, this metal bit, is stationary. I don't think it needs to turn. I think the shaft needs to turn. So I think I just need to push that out because I can see a bearing there inside that circlip. See that circlip just in there? It's a big one. There's the two holes for it there and there. I think it just needs, the shaft just needs to push through. So I might try hitting it with a soft hammer and just see if it pops out because it's, you know, it's clear on the other side. I don't know if I actually needed to take off that motor, but well, it doesn't matter now. Yeah, just whopping it with a hammer might help. It didn't even budge, so it hasn't. It's not got a, well, the tub splits at the front, so I've got the front off. It's a bit weird. Let's take these off and see what happens. I've never seen anything like this, but I think probably even most washing machine engineers haven't seen anything like this type of machine. There we go. Okay. It's just a big ring. Wow, okay, so we've got a massive bearing around the outside. And we've got a smaller bearing on the inside, in there. There's MC. Maybe he put this together, or she. Okay, so there's the back of the washing machine. I've taken this, some bits of metal there. It's always a bit strange. I've taken that circlip off. I took off that ring, took off the circlip, and then you get in there and there's two bearings, a really big bearing, like that's 4 inches almost, I'd say. It's all covered in dirty black grease, but it doesn't appear to be leaking in any way.
I've obviously got the drum out.
There's some shit in the back of it there, little bits of stuff and a bit of rot, and there's stuff caught up there which, you know, won't be hard to get out.
And there's the inside of the drum. You can't see much from there. But then over on this side, you can see some faults with it. So that's, you've got corrosion there and a bit of yellow plastic. And I guess it's bits like this that cause it to seize. So it's got a solid piece for the outside of the drum. And then up as far as that yellow, there's another drum inside, which is this one. It's pretty fancy. But look, there's bits of stuff caught in there. There's a bit of green plastic. I don't know what that is, but I'll try and get that out. It looks to have writing on it. And there's other bits caught. I saw somewhere there's some other bits caught in there. So this is like something that there is a video on YouTube that shows you how to take these things apart, but that wouldn't help here. And then the other thing is, look at that. That's buckled way off there because of the corrosion inside. So I don't know if that was catching. So is this one, jeezy. See that big lump there? They all have it actually. Look at the bubble on the inside. So there's so much corrosion going on in there. Now maybe that's caught it. I don't know. What I suspect is that it's something to do with the Contrarotation that's caught it. They all have this. Look at that, hey? So I'll try and get these bits out. If I can get these little bits out, that green one up there, that might let it free up. I don't know actually, because it wouldn't turn just as it was with the back off. So I'll just try it again. That's a solid big spindle there. There's this little spindle. So the little spindle goes through to this half tub inside, half drum inside. So the little spindle goes through to the half drum inside, and then the outside one does the outside one. It's pretty snazzy, you know, but yeah, this aluminium, doesn't last forever. Right, I've been hitting this with the hammer for a while now and getting nowhere. So I think this inner drum should spin within the outer drum, but it's completely locked. I've tried a crowbar, I've tried hitting it with a hammer, inside, outside. It's clear that the whole thing is distorted inside and outside because of the reaction between washing powder probably and aluminium and steel. I've tried, I thought, how can I separate it? And to separate it, you'd need to go around and take out all of these Torx screws and then slide off the outside, and then the inside, it should be possible to split here. And if you could do that, that'd be fine. Except once I started going around trying to loosen these, some of them, it was clear, you know, you could see that the thread here wasn't moving, or the end of the bolt wasn't moving, but the head was. And some were loosening, but only 1 in 3 was loosening. So I thought, if I do that, I'm going to end up with only, you know, possibly some of these connectors attached, which wouldn't do any good. So I wonder if I can, given that I've gotten it out now, this much should spin within the tub over there. So if I put it back together as it is, I wonder will it go? Because there was a little bit of metal stuck in the bottom. We'll see. I got some other bits out. Little bits of blue plastic, green plastic, a matchstick, some fluff. You know, it's just, I think it's just that it's just too old. I think it's 2006, 2007, that kind of age. Actually, if I show this here, serial number might help, 0295834. Don't know if it does. 0101 there in the end. That might mean 2001. Looking at these, the times when it was opened were 2005 actually, that's older. 2011. So that's going back a bit. Oh, hold on. Build. There's actually more information. Yes, okay, built 2003, 13th of August. Or maybe actually, that's not, maybe that's the door seal was replaced in 2003. I'm guessing those are some kind of service ticks, but they've run out. Okay, I'll put it back together and just see if it spins, and then see if that will spin freely. given that the contra-rotation will be dead, but it might just spin, and if it'll spin, there's a possibility we can put a brick in it. Okay. Okay, we've got it all back together. Belt's back on. It turns. The contra-rotation doesn't work because that drum within a drum is seized, but the system itself works. I think this planetary gearbox makes the inner drum revolve faster than the outer. Just turn that now. I can't tell actually, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. It's turning anyways, so I'll get the front back on and get the power connected up. I'll leave the top and the back off because I don't really need to deal with them yet, and it'd be interesting to see it working. I'll get the front back on, all of those screws back in, oh dear, and take it from there. Right, the front's back on, the thing's back in. This door won't close right, but I don't know what that's about. Let's turn it on. Ooh, okay. It's making noise. Pause, press start to resume. Rinse, spin, spin. Ooh, I don't know what that is. Probably doesn't like it that that door's open. Let's see if that makes any difference. Press start. Fault F15, oh my no. Oh my no. I think that's something to do with that door lock, probably. Fault F, it could be anything, you know. I'll Google that and have my tea. The door lock button's not on. Balls. Turn it off, that might work. Now there's a strange buzz, so let's turn it off again. F15. What's going on in there? There, that's it open. Right. Close that. Try again. Dyson Contrarotator. Cotton rinse and 1100 spin. Whoa! Fault F15. Ah, there's no door on the pump, Owen.
I don't think it cares though, it doesn't really matter.
Let's put that door back on, I forgot that. It's pumping. There's nothing in it to pump and the hose is out on the floor. I wonder will it turn? Because if it turns, then there's all sorts of potential. Just take the plastic, just cut a hole in it with a saw. I haven't got the top on, I haven't got the back on. I wonder what fault F15 means. Could be the contra-rotator thing, you know? Now, let's pull it out and have a look at the back. There's nothing happening here yet, so let's just... like... pump's pumping. Fault F15. What do you think? It seems to me to be a motor fault, so like it could be brushes, it could be anything, because that belt had come off. Could be a thing where you have to reset the machine. I'm just trying to turn it over and see if it catches in any way. What are we on? Still on fault F15. Okay. Let's turn it off. I'll have a look, see what happens. Actually, do you know what I'll do? I'll put the video up as it is. I probably won't get back to this for a while. Fault F15, if you know what that is, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think could be wrong. I'm guessing it's a motor fault, mostly because I can hear the pump. It's on rinse and spin. It could be actually, you know what it could be, there's no water connected. It could be the water. Yeah, let me know in the comments and we'll try again later. Thanks for watching, see you later.